Hey, what's up guys, it's C-Stacks here, finally coming to you with another opening video. It's also likely to be probably a double opening today. You'll probably get another video here in a little bit because I also got this bad boy, but we'll talk about that later. First we're going to take a look at Masters of Evil. Finally got my hands on it. We're also doing this opening video on a bit of a throwback mat here because got this OP Kit 2 mat that has the boy helmet Zemo on it since his daddy is finally in the game in the Masters of Evil set, so that's pretty cool. I am pretty excited for this box. I don't think this box is like incredible or anything, but this arc, a lot like the Omega's arc, is like really kind of ramping up for me because like Masters of Evil is pretty cool. It's pretty kitchen table with one really problematic, competitively viable card. So like this set's pretty okay to me. The next one, Mystic Arts, I like a lot. It has one of my favorite main characters to be printed in a long time in Iron Fist. And the set that's being spoiled right now, which is Into Darkness, is shaping up to be the coolest of the three. That set seems awesome. So while I'm not in love with this Masters of Evil box, I do like it. And I do think the arc overall, the Darkness and Light arc, is shaping up to be an absolute home run because the next two sets after this one just get better and better. I'm so excited for those two sets. But this set is pretty cool in its own right. So it's Darkness and Light, Volume 4, Issue 1. We got this really cool classic style artwork on the front with Zemo. Let's see what it says on the side here. An all-new volume of Versus System 2 PCG kicks off with a polarizing story arc blending the forces of good and evil. First up are the True Masters of Evil, a dastardly collection of the most nefarious villains banded together with a new team affiliation. So let's go ahead and get into Masters of Evil. As I said, like, this isn't my favorite of the three in this arc, and I don't even know what all is in Darkness Into Darkness yet, and I already think that one's awesome. But I do like this set. So let's go ahead and we'll hover over the rule sheet a bit. Oh my gosh, there's that team stamp. Hilarious. All right. Again, I don't go over the rule sheets, but you can stop and look if you want. I'll just be glancing quickly to make sure they don't spoil anything on the sheet, because sometimes they'll put something from another set in there. I think that's only happened one time, where they accidentally spoiled something from another set. I don't know if I got Wrecking Crew well enough. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get into the cards. Starting off with not a Masters of Evil character, we have Dr. Henry Pym. He's an Avenger. He's aka AntMan, Giant Man. He's 065. He has Research, Main, Yellow, draw card, Discovery of a Life Form, level up 3. When Hank does research, Life Form? Discovery of a Lifetime. That makes way more sense. I was literally thinking to my head, as soon as I read that, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. What does that mean? And I went back and looked and it says Lifetime, and I'm just dumb. When Hank does research, he gains 1 XP. When he levels up, he can level up into either level 2 Ant-Man or level 2 Giant Man. I love the design of this main character. It's just perfect. So the Ant-Man version is a 410 Avenger. He's aka Giant Man still. He has Pym Particles Increase, Main, Yellow or Blue, or rather Blue or Yellow. Ant-Man transforms into an Avengers Giant Man level 2, so he can switch over to the Giant Man. And then he has Shrink, so when he gets attacked for the first time each turn, you may cancel the attack. So we have a 410 defensive Ant-Man who can turn into Giant Man, who is a 7/7, 5 health, aka Ant-Man. Pym Particles Decrease, Main, Blue or Yellow. Giant Man transforms into an Avengers Ant-Man level 2, so they can go back and forth. It's just super cool, super flavorful. And he has Grow, so when Giant Man attacks for the first time each turn, he gets +7/+7 this combat. So he's a 14/14 the first time he attacks. I just love the design of this main character. Like, this is exactly what an Ant-Man main character should be. The flavor of it is awesome. I love this aggressive Giant Man. I love the defensive Ant-Man. I love everything about this. I love the design of this card. There's the small critique of, like, this is 3 Avengers cards taking up slots in a Masters of Evil set. So this is 3 cards that could have gone somewhere else. That is a valid criticism, but the cards themselves I love Ant-Man. Love that card. All right. Is a less good main character. We have Baron Zemo. He's a 2/5 range, 5 health Masters of Evil character. There's that hilarious Masters of Evil team stamp. I've waited decades for this. Build red. You pay 1 less to recruit Masters of Evil supporting characters this turn. That's not the next time. That's all that you bring out, which is pretty cool. And he has Master of Evil, level up 10. When you recruit a Master of Evil character, Zemo gains XP equal to its printed cost. And then at level 2, he still has, I've waited decades for this, he's a 5/8 now, and he has X marks the spot. Main yellow, choose an enemy row, then choose one. Adhesive X, characters there are immobile until your next turn. Formula X, characters there can't strike this turn. And Particle X, destroy each equipment there. This is noteworthy in that this says destroy each equipment there. I don't know if that's a flavor thing or like just literally a templating error, because normally it would say KO. This guy's kind of cool. I don't think he's like incredible or anything. But yeah, he seems fun. He's not the most impactful guy. But again, when we get to this, we'll talk about why these Masters of Evil characters, even if they're not amazing, are very relevant. This guy I think is really cool, though. We have Crimson Cow, main character. He's aka Ultron. He's a 4/2, flight range, 6 health, Master of Evil character. He has Gas Pellet Pistol, main red. Choose an enemy supporting character. Crimson Cow could attack, then choose one. Sleeping Gas, daze that character. Lethal Gas, wound that character until it has 1 remaining health. And he has Acquire Blueprints, level up 2. When you play an Avengers Mansion special location, Crimson Cow gains an XP. So the flavor on that is so cool, of him acquiring the Avengers Mansion blueprints. I just think that's awesome. It's less searchable than, like basic locations. You can't cane for an Avengers Mansion. So there are probably games where you just whiff on this, but I think the design is just so cool. So at level 2, he turns into Ultron. He reveals himself to be Ultron. He is a 10/4, 6 health, flight and range guy. He has Infiltrate the Mansion. Ultron can use Avengers Mansions to pay for superpowers. It's so cool. Eye Emitters, main blue. Choose an enemy supporting character Ultron could attack, then choose one. Hypno Beam, ready that character and move it to your side. At the end of your turn, move it back. And Ultra Blast, wound that character. Particularly the mind control one is just so cool. I don't know how great this main character is, just because the level up condition is a little sketch. You can fix it with things like they have this agent thing, the plot twist that lets you stack top of your deck, and then there's things like Global Information Network. But I just love the design of it. I think the main character, Ultron, is really cool. We have 1-cost Melter. He's a 2/1 range, 1 health, Master of Evil character. He has Melting Ray. Combat red, Melter gets +5 attack this combat. You may KO an equipment on the defender. If the defender has iron in its name, it can't strike this combat. So I don't think this card's any good, really. I think it's like a strictly worse, like a Charlie 27 or something. But you kind of have to play it with like Zemo. This card is sweet. This is my favorite card in the whole set. We have 2-cost Ultron. He's a 3/1 flight range, 1 health Master of Evil character. He has Swarms. You can have any number of copies of Ultrons. And then he has the Living Automaton. When another character with Swarm appears on your side, if it shares a name with a character on your side, draw a card. So like it's so cool. It expands on the Ultron Swarm theme, which is awesome. It's indirect Xenomorph support, which I'm always going to be in support of. That card's just so cool. This is my favorite card in the box, is the Ultron. All right, we have Tiger Shark. He's a 4/4, 2 health Master of Evil. He has Tough, so if he gets stunned, you may recover him. He still gets wounded. He has Adamantium Teeth. When Tiger Shark strikes an enemy character in melee combat, if he doesn't stun it, put 2 -1 counters on it. So like, it's like a strictly downgraded match, which is weird. Like they did a lot with the match supporting character, and this is like, feels like it came out like years before that. But you kind of have to play it in the Zemo deck, and like it's a good card. It's just like, it's so weird that like we're getting like cards that are like, this is just a worse version of a card that everyone has already been playing. We have 4-cost Whirlwind. He's a 6/4 flight, 1 health Master of Evil, and he has the Human Top. Whirlwind can't be struck in melee combat. So I think this card's pretty decent too. It's not like incredible or anything. You can do cool things with like giving this guy dodge. I don't think that's like broken or anything, but it is cool. We have Radioactive Man. He's a 5-cost, 7/4 range, 2 health Master of Evil. He has Hard Radiation. At the end of your turn, put a -1/-1 counter on each character in the row in front of Radioactive Man. So if he's in your back row, he puts counters on your front row. But if he's in your front row, he hits their front row, which is really interesting. It's the first time we've kind of seen it put in those terms. Radioactive Blast, main green, double the -1 counters on enemy front row characters. I think the coolest thing that you can do with this is putting this in a deck with like, is it Hammer Dagger? That is if you gain -1 counters, they're +1 counters instead. I think you could put this in your back row and then put like a hammer dagger back there, and then it buffs your whole front row. I think that's pretty cool. Other than that, I don't think this card's like incredible or anything. I don't even think that interaction is amazing or anything. I just think it's really cool and could be a really fun deck. We have 6 cost Absorbing Man. He's a 6/6, 3 health Master of Evil. He is most dangerous guy in the world. At the start of your main phase, you choose a basic location on any side with a name you haven't chosen for this character this game. If you do, he gets the following until the start of your next main phase. Academy, he gets Genius. Fortress, he gets +5/+5. Laboratory, he gets Range. Training Ground, he gets Stealth. Earth, he gets Tough, Indestructible. Sorry, Space, he gets Indestructible. So it is worth noting that it has to be those exact names. So if your opponent is playing the alien locations or the predator locations, you don't get it. But it's a cool card. This guy is nuts. This guy's crazy. All right, we have 7 cost Claw. He is a 10/6, 1 health range Master of Evil, and he has Indestructible. Claw can't be wounded. He can't be wounded. You would have to do some kind of thing to stun him first and then wound him while he's face down. It doesn't say it stays on while he's stunned. So you could daze it or stun it and then add a wound to it while it's face down, KO it while it's face down, KO it by a card effect, remove it from the game, something like that. But even with all that stuff, that's pretty nuts. Then he has Sound Generation, main blue, push a front row enemy character to its back row, and it loses and can't gain powers this turn. That second part of that power is, I think, really, really strong. Yeah, this guy seems really cool. I think that guy's going to see play, I think. That guy's super playable. All right, we have the Wrecking Crew. I really don't remember what these do. I know people are really excited for them. All right, so this is Bulldozer. He is a 3 cost, 3/3, 2 health Master of Evil. He's a 1 of a kind, and he requires you to have a Master of Evil starting main character. And then he has Wrecking Helmet. Bulldozer can melee attack enemy resource rows. When he strikes a resource row, KO a number of random locations there equal to his attack, then replace them with cards from the top of that player's deck face down. So they do get to replace their resources, but it does say that normally a card like this would say if it's a location you may play it face up. This card doesn't say that, which means you actually are taking away their locations in a semi-permanent way, which is pretty good. And then he has Wrecking Crew. Bulldozer has +2/+2 for each other Wrecking Crew character on your side. So at his base stats, he can hit up to 3 locations, and then 2 more for every other Wrecking Crew guy, which is pretty cool. And then we have 4 cost Piledriver. He's a 4/4, 2 health. He has all the same requirements. He's 1 of a kind. He requires you to have a Master of Evil starting main character, and then he has Wrecking Hands. Piledriver can melee attack enemy hands. When he strikes a hand, discard a number of random cards equal to his attack. Then that character draws that many. So you're hitting random cards out of there. They do get them replaced, but it could mess up with their plans, I guess. And then he also has Wrecking Crew, where he gets +2/+2 for each other Wrecking Crew character on your side. This is a cool little sub theme. We have Thunderball here. He's a 5 cost, 5/5, 2 health. He has all the same stuff at the top there. He has Wrecking Ball. Thunderball can melee attack enemy decks. When he strikes an enemy deck, put a number of random cards from the top of it equal to his attack into that player's KO pile. It's so weird that it says random cards from the top. I assume you're just milling, taking cards from the top and putting them into the KO pile. The deck should be inherently random. So that's a weird way to word that. And then he has Wrecking Crew. Thunderball has +2/+2 for each other Wrecking Crew character. And then finally, we have the big guy. We have Wrecker. He's a 6 cost, 6/6, 2 health. He has a Wrecking Bar. The Wrecker can melee attack enemy decks, hands, and resources. I assume they just work exactly how those other ones. So for him, you just get to choose. I assume you're not doing all of that at once. You would have to pick, right? And then he has Wrecking Crew, so he's +2/+2. Let me check on that. I assume there's no way he attacks each of them. I assume you have to pick which one you want to hit. I'm looking, but I'm not seeing. For example, the record could team attack an enemy hand. Yeah, I assume you pick which one you want to attack at any given time. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Oh yeah, he's 1 of a kind. All right, we have Masters of Evil. Plot twist. Main, look at cards from the top of your deck equal to the highest cost of an evil supporting character on your side. Put any number on top of your deck and the rest on the bottom. I don't think this card's any good. I think it's strictly worse than Global Information Network, and for you to get good value out of this, it has to sit dead in your hand at the beginning of the game, because if the highest one is a 1 cost on turn 1, this is terrible. 2 cost is okay. 3 and up, I think, is kind of where it gets a little better, but then I kind of still think I'd rather be playing Global Information Network because I get a card out of it. So 5 or more is where this can be, where you can even make an argument that this is better than Global Information Network, but most of the time I think it's just strictly not. I don't think you get anything out of that card. I mean, you could do probably some kind of cute onslaught thing with it. Here is the card. This is it. All right, so Out of Time. To build plot twist, remove your main character and an enemy player's main character from the game with their counters and equipment. At the start of your next turn, each of those characters' owners puts that character onto their side. So this is part of an infinite loop with Darkhold in which nobody gets to play the game anymore. Darkhold being the equipment that says the first time you play a plot twist each turn, you return it to your hand. So you would put the Darkhold onto your main character. You would play this out of time. Your main characters would be removed, and then this will come back to your hand, and you can do it infinitely every turn. So I hate that. I'll be honest with you, I don't even like this card without that interaction. I think these cards that make it so people can't play the game are just really unfun and uninteractive, and just even without that, even with things like Rocket to put this back in your hand, or any number of other things that let you recycle this, I think it's just a really annoying mechanic. I don't like it at all. You could have fixed the loop thing by not letting them keep their equipment, but for flavor reasons you have to do it, because Captain America he got to keep his shield when he went in the ice. So first of all, I don't know how you missed this interaction, because the community figured it out in like under 5 minutes. People found this loop. I don't know why the designers can't find stuff like this, but also even without that loop, this just stops aggro decks on the track. They can't do anything. Decks that have to attack to be able to play can't do anything. It's just really uninteractive. I actually kind of hate card design like this, but anyways, we can just move on. We have Overwhelm. It's a combat plot twist. Each attacker on your side gets +1/+1 this combat for each attacker on your side. So this is pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of that Heroines of Arcadia plot twist. I don't think it's amazing or anything. It's better than that card in some situations because it's for each attacker. So, and it buffs defense instead of attack, or sorry, in addition to attack. It's pretty cool. Don't think it's amazing or anything. This is an interesting design for a special location. It's Castle Zemo. It's a blue, yellow, green, or red for a Masters of Evil character, or for a character with Zemo in its name. So you can use this for what is he? So there's the 1-cost Underworld Zemo, that's this one, and then there's the Hydra Zemo main character. So that's pretty cool that they buffed the Hydra Zemo deck. So that's Masters of Evil. I think this set's pretty cool. I hate the design of Out of Time, if I'm being honest with you. But there are some definite standouts in here. This Wrecking Crew thing is a really cool sub-theme. I think people are going to have a really good time with those. That's a really cool kind of take on that. Those are really neat. I think Claw is actually definitely going to see play. That card's sweet. I do want to try the cute Dagger deck with Radioactive Man. I know people are excited to put equipment on that gives him dodge. I'm super excited to play with Ultron. This is my favorite character in the box. I love that guy. Melter is definitely subpar. I think the Ultron main character is really, really cool. I think Zemo is cool, although not super competitive. And then I think AntMan is a big standout for being one of the most flavorful main characters ever designed. I really like that guy. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to catch you in the next video where we're going to crack open this Mystic Arts box. But I do recommend picking up this set. I think there's some really fun mechanics in it. It's definitely a win in my book, and the sets that follow it are even more of a win in my book. So I'm actually really, really enjoying the Darkness and Light arc. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.